Basically, we like for the case of the household waste, we get it from within the neighbors, uh, within the community. But our organic waste, we normally pick it from the market side, where those women vendors, the leftover, you realize that most of the times when they're doing sale, they don't actually sell it, or some tend to rot, and some tend to have some bit of a damage. On that, the buyers cannot actually what access them. As a result, they tend to drop it out. Those are where we can now access those what organic waste. Once the waste arrives, we of course, we are supposed to weigh it. How much we have already weighed it from the market side to determine how much we should also give to those who have collected. Once the waste arrives, they're in bigger particle. So there is need to break it up. Normally we chop it each so that once we put it into the feeding tray, they can easily what be consumed by the what by the larvae. And also there's this aspects whereby you realize that the organic waste contain a lot of what of water. So there's need to squeeze that water out because these larvae, once they, of course, in the process of feeding, they tend to what release a lot of water. But you realize that the larvae doesn't what require too much of a water. They need a kind of a moderate what environment, kind of dry, kind of what wet. So if it is too wet, they will what move away. You will find them no longer in the basin or the feeding tray. They will go away. So what we normally do, we squeeze that juice out or the watery part of it so that it can't allow them to feed and it doesn't what cause and a condition which is not favorable for them. The life cycles of this process take 45 days maximum. From the stage of laying eggs up to the stage of harvesting, it takes 14 days. For example, let me say today a fly has laid eggs. The eggs will hatch after a period of 3 to 4 days. After 3 to 4 days, we feed them on a soft what? A soft waste, for example, the brewery waste, or we can feed them on what? On brand. So we feed them for 5 days. After 5 days, we distribute them into a basin. Each basin contains 50 grams, upon which after feeding for 9 days, it will give us what? 2 kilograms of what? Of larvae. So after 5 days, it's distributed. Then you feed it for 9 days. That's make it 14 days. After 14 days, if you are not giving it to your what? To your livestock, then you continue the process. Of course, you would want, if it goes past 14 days, that means you wanted to breed it, like it to go into what? Into a fly. So it takes around 10 days for you to get pupa. Of course, in between, there is that period of 7 days which turn into a pre-pupa. After turning into a pre-pupa, they go into a pupa. Into a pupa, it takes 10 days for it to hatch into fly. Then when it hatch into fly takes a maximum of 14 days or 15 days to die. Of course, when they hatch into fly, normally a male fly comes first, then a female one comes second. So it takes 3 to 6 days for it to begin laying eggs. Upon laying eggs, it dies, and that is the end of its life cycle.